brake pads on a Mazda 3. This is my car, so I'm going to show you how to do it and make it as easy as possible so that even a white girl can do it. So first off, you're going to start by removing your tire. We have 21 millimeter lug nuts on this. So what you're going to do is loosen up the nuts, and then you'll take your tire and just get them so they're a little bit loose so that they're not super tight when you lift the car up. That way, you know, it doesn't fall on you when you're trying to crank them down. So then you'll lift up your car with your lift right here, or the car comes with a jack stand right here that you can use as well. We're using it just, you know, to be a little more precautious and have some safety in there. And then once you get your car up, you can take off the lug nuts like so and proceed to lift the wheel off the car. So next you're going to take these two dust caps off the back of the car. So we have one up here on the top, and then there's one down here on the bottom, and you'll just take those off so you can loosen those bolts. Behind these dust caps, you're going to need a 7 millimeter hex wrench to loosen up those bolts so that you can take your caliper off. Alright guys, not going to lie, that was a pain in the ass. I had to use this 7 millimeter hex wrench, this little guy, because I didn't have the right tool, so I had to crank it out of there. So once I cranked it out, the whole thing will come out just like this. You can see it kind of looks like that, and we'll clean it off a little bit later. And then your caliper will just kind of slide off. What I like to do is just rest it on something so it's not just hanging there. And then right here, our brake pad just slid right off, and as you can see, it's not worn down too much, but it's worn down enough to the point where we probably can change it. Alright, so as you guys can see, the brake pad on the interior of the car has these little clips on the back of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your caliper, and this is inside of it. You'll just take it with both hands on the little clips, pop it right out, and it'll come right out. It's just springed. Okay, so the next step is you're going to compress the piston. So what you'll want to do is take one of the old brake pads, preferably the one not with the clip, it just makes it easier. You'll put it back in there, use this, and you'll just want to compress it so that it goes all the way back in until, you know, you have no more strength to do it anymore. And while you're doing this, you want to be careful that your brake fluid doesn't overflow out the top, because that could create a huge mess. So that was the problem with mine. I just added some brake fluid in here, so it was more than it needed to be. So of course it would come out. So we sucked some of it out, so that way it wouldn't overflow and make a huge mess in my engine bay. All right, so here's our new brake pads. You can see they're quite a bit thicker than the ones we had before. What I'm going to do is use some brake lubricant to grease up the bolts that go in the back, the one on the top and the one on the bottom that we removed earlier. I'm also going to put some on the corners and edges right in here, so that way when our stuff is moving around we don't get any squealing or anything like that. Okay, so once you have your piston pushed back in and you snap the first brake pad into place, the one that has the backing on it, you'll just stick the other brake pad kind of on here like it was before, rotate your caliper around, and then stick it right back on. What you'll do is you'll take those screws that you had that you just put grease on, you'll screw them back into place, get them tight to how they were before, and then you can put those little plastic covers back on top. And then what you'll want to do is put this clip back on. I did the top part first, and I stuck it in here, and then I rotated the bottom part in to put this in and clip this back on here. Okay, so next we'll just put the wheel back on. Simplest part. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it helped you. Make sure to subscribe.